Alright, so today we're gonna work on a little dog for the top of a hiking stick. Usually carve them right onto the hiking stick, but I needed a piece of wood that was a little bit bigger. So if you want to see how I did this, stick around and I'll show you how I did it. Alright, here we go. We're cutting a puppy out. This is a Yorkie pup, and this is a piece of basswood. I don't know if I said that before. I just cut it out of a board. I buy basswood rough cut boards. I bought a few of them, and then if I need a chunk of it, I can. Usually, when you buy the whole board, you have a piece left over from whatever project you're working on, and I just use that piece, cut little pieces off of it, whatever I need. A little cheaper that way. I started cutting in there and realized I could take a chunk out of there, so I took the handsaw and just cut a chunk out. If you have a bandsaw, you can cut around the outside profile, save yourself a lot of time. I'm just using my little Christmas tree with teeth there. It's a pretty coarse one. Not real coarse because it's basswood. It'll shred it if you get real coarse, but good enough it'll remove some wood. I did have a picture I was looking at. I'm just trying to use it as just a reference to get my position of everything right. If you kind of carve everything in like this, then you can go back and move it a little bit if you need to. I haven't carved very many dogs, but this one was a fun little project. You can use just about any type of metal bit for carving dry basswood like this. Just about anything will cut it. Just some things cut it faster than others. Play around with whatever bit you got and see which ones cut it the way you want to cut it. Start with those ones. I probably said this before. Whenever I'm doing a carving like this of an animal, I usually look at Google Images. I'll look at pictures of real animals, and I'll look at pictures of carved animals, how other people carved them, and sometimes you can get some pretty good ideas how to make things easier, and then you can look at the real one, and then you can change it the way you want to make it. But sometimes you can save a lot of time if you look and see how somebody else carved it. You might get some ideas on how to make it easier, and sometimes not. Sometimes you don't really find what you're looking for, and you can just go off of the realistic photos. And the Google Images is a real good place to just find pictures of all the different types of animals and cats and people, whatever you want. So, very good reference. I did buy some brass pole cue pieces that go in the middle of a pole cue. I'm going to make this a breakdown stick so it'll unscrew in the middle. Make it a little easier to carry around if you want to take it on a plane or something. So I'm going to try that and see how it works. I didn't get it done for this video, but I'll probably show it done in one of the videos coming up. Once I got it roughed out with the Dremel pretty good, then I switched over. This is a tungsten carbide Dremel bit. Just doesn't rip up the wood as much. Carves a little smoother. This is a diamond grit bit, little flame bit. I'm just putting in some of the details around his nose and his eyes, cleaning up the corners around his mouth and stuff. Put that fur detail in there, and then good to looking at it. It still looks a little puffy. Decided to give him a haircut, shave him down some more, make him a little bit smaller, a little bit skinnier face. His face was a little bit too wide, so just giving him a little haircut here, and then the fur grows right back again. Sometimes you just get excited about putting the fur on there. I started putting it on to see what it would look like, and looked pretty good, so I just kept going. And then when I was got it pretty well covered with fur. Then I looked at it some more and realized it was too puffy. So yeah, you can always just cut it back off and give it a little bit more shape to it, and don't be afraid to cut it down again. It doesn't take that long to put fur on. You can see I went back to the more aggressive bit there to take that wood off there. Basically went over the whole dog again and cut him down quite a bit. And a lot of things with long fur or hair, you can don't worry about smoothing it out too much, your top layer there, because whenever you cut down in, if it's going over bumps, it gives the fur or the hair a lot more texture and depth, and you can get a lot. It actually look a lot better if you don't smooth that whole surface down underneath it. Here's that little wheel shaped thing I just put the fur lines in with, and then I went back through here in a minute. I'll show you the finer tip, just to make some of the lines a little deeper and give it some more depth. Here I'm just cutting some of the lines, some of the fur down in deeper, just to give it just that little bit of extra depth in there. Not every line, just but several of them. You got to keep checking the reference photo to make sure you're getting the fur going all the right directions. Once I was happy with the fur, then we started putting a little paint on. This basswood, if you try to put any type of clear coat on it, like oils, tung oil, anything like that, or a polyurethane, I think it turns too yellowish or dark. I wanted to keep some of that light tan in there a little bit, so I decided to use the Minwax paste wax on it. It'll seal it up good and won't get that dark color to it. I'm just basically using the paints to shadow all the dark areas. And the faces just have some yellows and browns and a little bit of black. Is using a little bit of black in with the brown around the right around the eyes and the nose and the mouth, just where it was darkest, and then mixing brown and yellow. And then I'm going over it also with orange here in a minute, just to bring a little bit more of that rust color out. Get some more colors in there, get the shadows and the dark shadows and the highlights in there. It gives it a lot more depth and really enhances the carving. You can see the Minwax darkened it up quite a bit. As it dried, it got a little bit lighter. Okay, so I got this little pup cut out here. It's a little Yorkie for a friend of mine. We're putting it on a hiking stick, and turned out pretty sweet looking. Put it on the turntable for you so you can get a look at it. But anyway, it's a fun little project, and if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and see you next week. Thanks for watching. And it's done. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next week.